Good evening, everybody. This is Kim Klima, your host for this evening. I just wanted to give everyone a second as I see folks are in the process of calling in, and we're going to get started here in just a moment. But for those of you who may not have had any experience with our webinar technology, just a couple of things that I'd like to talk about so that you can fully participate in our call this evening. First of all, you can see on the attendee list who's on the line with us this evening. And also there's a chat log, so you can enter in a question log. You can enter any questions that you may have into the question log, and we'll do the best we can to answer those questions for you during our call. Certainly if we miss anything, we'll get to it after in a follow-up. And also you have a hand raising icon. It's a little round blue circle with a yellow hand inside. When you click that, it will raise your virtual hand. I'll unmute your line, and then you could speak, up and ask your questions verbally. The reason why I do have everybody's line muted until such time is to try to minimize any background noise. So I'll apologize in advance for any background noise you might hear from me, as I am leading our call this evening from my home office, but sometimes there's an interruption. In any case, we are recording our call this evening, and this recording will be loaded up to our website under the volunteer page before the end of the week. So if you want to share this with anyone, feel free to do so. I also want to mention that we have a couple live sessions of Meet the VTK, which will probably be a little more interactive, one at each service center, and then one at a couple of our satellite offices as well. So if you go to the event calendar on our website and in the advanced search, type Meet the VTK or Meet the Volunteer Toolkit, you would see all of the options pop up there, and you're welcome to join. Even if you are on the call tonight and still want to participate in another call, it's perfectly fine as well. And at this time, I do want to thank the Volunteer Steering Committee, who has been working diligently with GSNEO to help improve our customer satisfaction. They do a really great job, and this whole idea of having a Meet the Volunteer Toolkit presentation came from that group of volunteers that said, despite all of our best efforts, this still really hasn't been rolled out quite effectively enough. So they have helped put this presentation together, and actually have a couple of our folks on the line with us this evening. So I wanted to just mention Aida Idiakis is on the phone with us tonight, Melissa Yoder, as well as Valerie Mariola. And so, ladies, thank you so much for making the time to call in tonight. I know that each of them is also facilitating a live session at one or more of the other offices, so your time is so appreciated, as is everybody's. Also, if any of the committee members would like to chime in, which I'm hoping you do, I would like to, just go ahead and raise your hand so I can unmute your lines as well. And if you're ready, if any of the committee members are ready at this time, maybe to say hi and just give a quick word of encouragement and support about the VTK, I would love to have, to hear from you at any time. So, okay. I think that about covers everything. We might as well go ahead and get started. I'm not sure if we're going to need a whole hour, but we certainly have that time. So if we'll take as much time as we need. And again, my name is Kim Klima. I'm the Director of Volunteer Support and Services for the Girl Scouts. I've been with Girl Scouting now for about 15 years as a professional, and I have about 23, 24 years altogether, including my 7 years as a Girl Scout as a child. My mom was my troop leader. My sister and I were in a troop together, and we still have some of our very best friends from those experiences. So Girl Scouting has been a very impactful part of my life and continues to be. And one of the things that I can't state enough is, boy, I wish that when I had my two troops, when my daughters were growing up, that I had access to something like the Volunteer Toolkit. I can't say enough about it. But what I will say is that, many times throughout the course of my Girl Scout volunteer career, so bad, I did wish there was an easier way to let, to find out and to help my co-leaders know where they can find the best resources or how they can plan their year and save time. So new this year, for those of you who aren't aware, the Volunteer Toolkit is brand new. It's not even a year old, and it's really always in the process of improvement. So because GSNEO is a pilot council, because we went live on all this new technology before most of the other councils in the country, you're getting things kind of brand new out of the box. But every time there's a new update or enhancement, that impacts your toolkit as well. And so right before your very eyes, you can see how it is growing and improving day by day. So, the Volunteer Toolkit is also on its mobile, and we'll talk about that again, but you can access it not only from your desktop and laptop, but also from your iPad and iPhone. So it's very user-friendly and portable on the go. Here's how it works. For Daisy, Brownie, and Junior troops, the toolkit comes with pre-populated plans for everything, a full year of Girl Scouts right here. So you will have 2 journey programs per age level plus a badge year. Just, you can mix and match however you want to do those. So if you choose one of the journey programs, it'll pre-populate your calendar. If you pick a badge year, it'll pre-populate your calendar with that badge year. And then you can switch meetings around or add meetings or drop meetings. It's fully customizable. And also, Cadet, Senior, and Ambassador troops don't yet have the pre-populated meetings, but we do anticipate that coming soon. And even though they're not able to use the pre-populated meeting plans, the Cadet, Senior, and Ambassador troops can still access many great features like the finance reporting and also the resources like the safety activity checkpoints. So again, it's fully customizable. You can add activities, you can drag and drop and change, add time to your agenda, reduce time from your agenda. And that's really important because we know that in Girl Scouting, it's very important to be girl-led, cooperative learning, and learning by doing. Those are the 3 keys to leadership, the 3 processes in Girl Scouting. And so obviously, the computer can't dictate everything that you're going to do, but it can certainly give you a great starting point. And then the girls working in tandem with their volunteers can customize the plans, which is really, really nice. In addition, you can track your troop finances. You can access the rosters of your families, including all their address information. You could track their achievements and their attendance. So we're going to give you a couple screenshots on that and kind of navigate through that a little bit tonight so that you can see how it looks. And certainly you're welcome to ask any questions that you may have. And then committee members, I don't know, is there anything that you'd like to add to that? Okay, not at this time, I'm guessing. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So to get to the toolkit, very first thing you probably want to know is, where is it? How do I get there? And that's a really good question. So what you do is go to gsneo.org, and right on the home page, this is a picture of the home page of our website. In the top right corner of the toolbar, you see where it says My GS. So you click on My GS and it will drop down this little menu, and then you pick what where you want to go from there. So obviously at this point you would click on the words Volunteer Toolkit, and when you do that, you'll get a login page. When you come to the login page, you would put in your username, which is the email address that you have on file with GSNEO, and then you would put in your password. Now, if you don't remember your password, it's not a problem. You can just click right here, Forgot Your Password, and a password reset function will populate in your email. And then you can just go back to your email, reset your password, and do it again. If you have any problems with this, right on our web page at the help desk, you could send us a ticket and let us know that you're having some trouble and we can help you. Or, of course, you can call into customer care at any time. Once you log in, you'll have a couple options like this on your screen where you can get into your member profile or you can get into the volunteer toolkit. So you'll want to click here where I have it highlighted in yellow, and that'll take you right to the volunteer toolkit. Once you get to the volunteer toolkit, you're going to see the very first time you log in, you're going to see, you won't see anything down here. You kind of have to put your own information in at first. So you're going to come up here and click on My Troop. If you're a volunteer in one of these troops that is in a direct primary position, in other words, if you're a troop leader, a troop administrator, or a troop program guide, when you click on My Troop, you'll have full capabilities to navigate in the toolkit. If you're in a secondary volunteer role or you're a parent of a girl and not in a volunteer role at all, you can still view the toolkit. You can see what's going on. You can see the troops calendar, but you will not have any ability to customize anything or make any edits. So if we go ahead and we can pick on My Troop, and actually right underneath here even it says add or change a photo of your troop, which right up here, if you added a photo, there'd be a photo right up at the top of your screen. And it's pretty easy. You just choose a file. It takes you into your computer files. You pick a picture that you want to upload. Once you click on that, it will ask you to go ahead and upload the file, and then it will pop up on your home page, which is really kind of cool. And I don't know about you, but I always get a boost of energy when I see the pictures of the girls in our troops. So I'm sure you're just like me. And you may notice that this particular screenshot is one from a cell phone. So this is what it would look like if it came up on your telephone. Okay, once you get into picking your year plan, you could see here in this particular example, we chose the Brownie Badge year. So the Brownie year plan is laid out in 15 meeting sessions to engage girls in a fun and exciting Brownie year with options to earn 5 badges and to take action project. So it's a 15 meeting session by default. Again, you can add to that, you can subtract from that, you can move things around any way you want, but it's going to pre-populate a badge year where you're going to earn 5 badges and complete a take action project in 15 meetings. Let's say that I didn't want to do a Brownie badge year. I could click on here and do the Brownie Junior Year, A World of Girls. I'm sorry, Journey Year, A World of Girls, and then below that would be another journey. So you just pick the one that you want, and you can change them. So if you pick this one and you make change your mind, you can come back to your year plan and select a different plan. Once you select your plan, the year plan will load into your library. And at this point, the toolkit lays out the 15 meetings for you. And again, if you don't like that order, all you do is click on the meeting and then drag the meeting to wherever you want it, or you can delete it. Please note that you cannot click and drag meetings on your iPhone. So in order to move things around, you do kind of have to be on your desktop or your laptop. And I realize that we may be moving a little quickly here. I don't know if everybody is feeling good about where we are. If you need me to slow down at all, just let me know. Again, if you have any comments or anything you want to share with the group, you can just enter some information in the question log and I can answer you that way, or raise your virtual hand and I'd be happy to unmute your line. So at this point, I've unmuted Aida's line. How are you this evening?
Hi, Kim. I just wanted to add and share with the members, I use a volunteer toolkit. I have a troop of about 18 girls. The majority of them are juniors, and so I use it for my junior troop. And what I've done is I've used the customize function of the volunteer toolkit. So what I've done is a combination of the badges and one of the journeys that my girls have chosen. So I've been able to organize our meetings to be able to work on a badge, and we tend to have 2 to 3 meetings per month. So we try to split it so that we're doing some badge work and then some journey work. So I just wanted to just have folks, that are logged in know that there is that feature that allows you to customize, that you're not wedded to either just choosing badges or a journey, that you can do a mixture of both.
That's great. Thank you so much. And so, like, do you talk to the girls about what they'd like to do at their future meetings, and that's how you make the customizations?
I do, and then we had over the summer, we had we try to get together and do some planning, and so I gave them a little bit of a taste of two out of the journeys, two journeys, and so they chose one, and so we organized that and kind of put in some of the badges that have to do with the cookie season, and some of the other badges, around family and other other focus areas. So
Nice.
they have, kind of a preference of combining the two, not just focusing on the journey, but being able to do the two, and they enjoy it.
Great. Thank you. That's
Mhm.
great. Very practical, hands-on help. Thanks so much for sharing that. Um,
Mhm.
okay, so then once after you have your year plan kind of mapped out the way you want it, and another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set up your meeting dates and your location. So like Aida was just saying, they meet 2 to 3 times a month, and so you can customize your schedule as well. And what you'll do is you set up like the first day of your meeting, and then you can say if it's weekly or every other week. The time of your meeting, as you can see on the screen, you'll enter the location that your meeting place is. And then what it's going to do is it's going to say to you, well, your meeting seems to fall on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day or whatever. Do you want to meet on these days or the week of these days? So like, let's say that, Christmas Day was Friday and you usually meet on Thursday. It's going to say the week of Christmas, do you want to have your meeting? And you can check it to say yes, I still want to meet that day, or you can uncheck it if you don't want to, if you're not planning to meet that day. And the other thing is you can customize it even further. Like for instance, maybe you usually meet every Thursday, but that week you're going to meet on a Tuesday. And so when you get down a little further into this app, then you can actually change a meeting during the week if you know it's going to be different, which is really helpful for parents with busy schedules and maybe they can't keep track or they forgot when it's happening and it's going to be right in their phone. So you're also going to want to specify your meeting location. I know for my daughter's troop, that's really important because they don't really have one meeting location. They kind of alternate between the meeting space in Bueller's and the library, just depending on availability and whatnot. And so having the parents keep up with that can be daunting sometimes. And this tool is really helpful for that. But of course, it also just helps keep everything organized. If you're going on a field trip or something different, you can make sure to customize in that regard as well. And one of the things you might have noticed in an earlier screen, and I'm going to point it back out and I highlighted it here for you today, is this orange bar across the screen. We refer to those as milestones. And the council can add milestones like this one. It's relevant dates and things that all the troops need to know. So in this example, you can see it says January 4, 2016 is when the cookie program begins. So if you were using the toolkit, all of a sudden one day you're looking at your schedule, your plan, and up pops this orange bar that gives you this milestone date. And so at any time, the council can add up to 5 of these milestones at a time. And so naturally, the cookie program's in there, and things like renewal might be in there, or it's time to renew, or the new program guides are in the mail or something like that, and it would just pop into your calendar right into your year plan so you can see it, which makes things pretty convenient. You can add a meeting and also choose to add in customized or council activities. So you could see right here in the yellow, when you're on your home screen, it says specify dates and locations. So you could do that. You can add a meeting or you can add an activity. which is really kind of cool. A lot of options. So let's say that I was going to go ahead and maybe pick a meeting, like one of these dates I was going to click on one of my meetings. And in this particular example, I clicked on January 11th meeting. And you can see here, this is a DAISY meeting, and it gives me the planning material. The category is getting started. And then the planning materials, meeting overview, activity plan, a materials list, all of those are links. So if I click on any of those, it's going to expand it. I'm going to do that for you in just a moment. And then there's manage communications. So we can see edit/sent meeting reminder emails. And you can record attendance and achievements here as well. And then there's meeting aids. So as you go through the meeting overview, you're going to see that like one of the activities says, take the DAISY name tag template and do this. So you might be thinking, well, where's the DAISY name tag template? Well, it's right here. So you would click on this, that PDF comes up, and you can quickly print it out right from home. So let's say that right now I was going to click on meeting overview, and the next screen would look like this. Here's my overview. So it really kind of lays out the meeting in a little bit more detail for you. And you can see, as I mentioned earlier, it says Activity 1, print the DAISY name tag template and the Girl Scout Promise template on heavy cardstock. Make enough name tags for all girls and adults who will be at the meeting. So this is what you do to prepare ahead of the meeting. It kind of tells you, like, you want to do this at home before you get there. And then you want to get help from your friends and family network. So here's ways that you can involve families, which we know is really important when we want to have a troop that's growing and healthy. So you want to do the DAISY's parents, aunts, uncles, older siblings, etc. Make sure to include them. Older Girl Scouts who are interested in helping younger girls, and other volunteers who have offered to help with the meeting. Ask them how they can pitch in. For example, they might want to bring snacks, help welcome girls at the meeting, gather materials for activities. So it's really important reminders. You don't want to have parents showing up and doing nothing. You want to make sure everybody has a role and a job if they're going to be at your meeting. And so this kind of gives you ideas. Now, this is a really simple one because it's the first meeting, but as the meetings progress, it really becomes more and more handy for the troop leaders. Okay, so let's go back and let's say that I went, instead of clicking meeting overview, I clicked on activity plan. You see the second thing there in the menu. Then this is what would pop up for me. And you can notice here that in the top right-hand corner, you can print or download any of these. So in the activity plan, it will give you a closer look at the plans. And this tool is really good for delegating to helping hand volunteers in your troop. So what you could do is print this particular activity, and you can hand it to one of your parents or two of your parents and say, okay, I'm putting you in charge of this activity. This is as the girls arrive. For 10 minutes, we're going to make DAISY name tags. Here's all the supplies you're going to need, and this is the steps that you're going to follow. And then you can go down to activity 2, Girl Scout traditions. And again, pick a couple parents to help you with that. Naturally, you could do it all yourself too, but it's always a lot more fun to involve the families. All right, right below the activity list in that main page is the materials list. So this gives you a real quick bird's eye view at all the materials that you're going to want to bring to that meeting or need to get prior to that meeting. The things in bold are things that you're going to want to print from the the resources. And you're going to see that you need for this yarn pre-cut in 2 to 4 foot sections, scissors, glue sticks, hole punch, colored markers. For activity 2, it's optional to have a Girl Scout Promise poster. For activity 3, you don't need any supplies at all. It's a game, and so forth. So it really helps you not have to sort through and try to figure out what you got to get. It's real, grab and go, very easy to organize. Then this is super duper cool and extremely helpful. So you already have your plan. You know what you're going to be doing at your meetings. And by one quick click of the edit email function, this email is going to pop up. It's already written. Hello, Girl Scout families. Here are the details for our next meeting. This meeting will give girls an introduction to Girl Scouts. Girls will learn the Girl Scout Promise, learn the Girl Scout Law, play games to get to know each other. Note to volunteers. While the Volunteer Toolkit guides you through the year's activities, we recommend that girls have their own copy of the Girl Scout Guide to Girl Scouting or the Journey Book. The excitement and fast pace of running a troop meeting for the first time can sometimes leave us tongue-tied. For that reason, scripting is included for guiding girls through the meeting. These lines are under the heading Say. However, you're the expert. If you feel you don't need a script, do what makes sense. And then it says prepare ahead. So this is a great note that can go out to all your parents, and they're going to be pre-populated based on your troop. Or you can enter your own email addresses. If you didn't want to send it to all the parents, but maybe just to a select few, you can put their email addresses in here. And you could change the subject line if you want to something else, but you could leave it just as is. Click all parents and send your email. It is so fast and easy, and that's right there in the menu. And then right below that, of course, you have your attendance and achievement tracking. And you can also open, download, and print your meeting aids. Okay, any questions or comments so far? Okay, moving right along. You could see here that you can add activities. So let's say you have all your pre-populated meetings in there, but now you want to add a custom activity. Maybe you're going to go Christmas caroling, or you're going to go window painting or something like that. So you would come to add an activity, click on this side of the bar, custom, and you can create any activity you want, or you can pick a service unit activity. And then if you want, you could click on council activity. Oh, here's an example of the custom activity where you can put in whatever you want and put add activity, and it's going to pop it right into your meeting plan in its rightful place between the time before and after. And then you can also select a council activity, and this is where it gets really super cool, because what happens if you click this is it's going to match up with the website, just like if you were picking an activity from the event calendar. So you have all the same customized search capability. You can search by keyword, region, or the dates. You can search by the program level or the categories, and then hit View Activities. On the next screen, this should look familiar because it takes you kind of over to our website for a minute and shows you the activities for that time. If you want to select an activity and register for the event, you just click on this link right here under that activity, and it will go open that up for you and allow you to register right from here. You don't have to go back over to the website and search for the same activity and register. It takes you right to the spot where you need to go. In addition to taking you where you need to go, it also will add this event right into your troops planning calendar for you. Now, I do want to caution you, because when you add an event to your calendar, you can add the event without actually registering for it. So by clicking on it, it will go into your calendar, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're registered for it. So make sure that you do complete the registration process all the way through completing the payment if a payment is required. Now, in addition to activities and meeting schedules and all that good stuff, you can also find your resources here. So again, from the home page of the VTK, here's my troop where we've been spending some time in the year plan and so forth. Now we're in this thing called resources. So under resources, you have resources for troop leadership, you have resources for safety and travel, and you have resources called volunteer aids. So I would point out that under here is where you're going to find your safety activity checkpoints. Right there, you have safety on travel and travel guide. You have 5 different documents to help you work with girls, 2 to help you work with parents, and 2 for managing money. Also, you have these meeting overviews and meeting aids, and then there's also VTK tutorial videos. There are 5 of them, so at any time you can use these resources and get more information. Now, in addition to your troop plans and your resources, you also have finances. Whoops. So under the finances, you can track all of your income. So that's any money that's coming into your troop, whether you're collecting dues or somebody gives you a donation or you have product sales income. Any approved money earning activities, if you make any interest on your bank account, anything like that, you can put all your money in, it will total for you. And then on the right side are all your expenses. So any money you paid for registration, on activities, council programs, product sales, troop supplies, whatever, and it will total that. And then it will give you your balance. This is your first quarter report, so it's really easy to add those expenses in there and then submit a quarterly report. Again, the troop leaders are the only ones that are going to be able to customize or add data. However, the parents are going to be able to see your finance report, which really brings about a lot of transparency and helps with communication. So, leaders on the go can use this VTK, again, like I said, on your laptop, your desktop, your iPhone, or your tablet. It's totally portable. People are portable today. They're moving around very quickly. I don't know about you, but I go from laptop to cell phone back to iPad and all of that constantly throughout the day. And so being able to have this access on your devices, wherever you're going, wherever you are, is really a huge plus. You can see these leaders are, sitting there with their girls, customizing alongside of their girls, which I think was the picture that Aida was painting for us as well. And it just really makes everything very portable and simplified, which I'm sure you can now understand why I wish I had this when I was a troop leader. So I do have a question in here. It says, do two leaders from the same troop share the same meeting plans? And yes, they do. So if Valerie, if you and I were both troop leaders and I was making customizations and you were making customizations, it really kind of works in real time. So you might have to do a refresh, but then you're going to see that your plans changed, in real time. So yes, all of the direct primary volunteers can customize and even customize simultaneously. Okay. So as a Girl Scout volunteer, you already know that your girls love their friends, the fun, all the things they get to do. But now there is a way to run your troop that saves you time and helps you plan so that you can really focus on the girls, which is everybody's favorite part anyway. And really what we need are adult volunteers to really do and not get stuck in all this paperwork and minutia, So hopefully this makes it easier for people and then they can really focus on the most important part of Girl Scouting. We do have a question from Jessica. Hi, Jessica. She said, I was having some technical difficulties earlier with my speakers. Maybe I missed it, but how do you change levels, say from Daisy to Brownie? So at the end of the program year, when there's a certain time in the year where all the troops change, they do what we call they age. So if you're in first grade, at that magical day in the calendar when GSUSA flips the switch, your troop will then become a second grade troop. And therefore, it would become a Brownie troop. So then what's going to happen once you're a Brownie troop is you will have automatically loaded up all the Brownie year opportunities. Your Daisy year will get archived. You will be able to go back and look at it because you're going to want to see your attendance tracking and all that, but it won't be live. It'll be archived. And we will give everybody ample warning through the milestones in the toolkit and through, e-news communication that, all of the current year plans are going to be archived pretty soon. So if you need to print something out or you need to make some changes before it gets locked down, then you'll know that you need to do that. If you do have multi-age level troop, at this time, you're only able to identify one age level in the toolkit per troop. So let's say that you have daisies and brownies. You're going to have to decide, do you want the toolkit to be loaded up with the daisy stuff or the brownie stuff? So, there's a lot of input to that. GSUSA is evaluating and looking at how we might be able to enhance that in the future. But in the meantime, you're going to have to choose which troop level your troop is really going to be associated with. So if you still need some help, remember to use those tutorials. One of the things I do want to point out is something you can see on my screen are the milestones and the reports. Um, I should have used someone else's login because you're not going to actually see those functions. Those are administrator functions. So when you are looking at your toolkit, don't expect to see that there, but you will see resources, and the tutorial videos will be there for you as well. And they take like 3 minutes to go through them, and they are so comprehensive. So at this time, I would just ask if anybody has any questions, if there's anything at all that we didn't cover, maybe that some burning questions or things that you might have been wondering, or if our committee has any thoughts that you'd like to add, or any any testimonials or words of encouragement for folks, feel free. Now is your chance. And I do see that Muncie joined our call too just a little bit after we got started. So Muncie, I wanted to mention that a little earlier I recognized the committee members, and so I don't want to leave you out. I would just thank you as well for all the work you're doing on our committee and for being on the call tonight. So Aida, did you have any more thoughts for us this evening?
I just wanted to add, I mean, I really like using the volunteer toolkit. It makes life, much easier, and it really gives a lot of helpful hints and to-dos that I can use with the girls. So I do enjoy it. I do have a question though. You went over I'm sorry, that's my pet. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So anyways, I had a quick question about the attendance tracking and the awards. I didn't see a slide, so I wasn't sure. Is that a feature that is active at the moment?
Yes.
You can mute me now.
Yes, that's something that you should be able to begin utilizing now, and I think it was in one of the more recent updates. So it's really cool because the girls are populated already into your meeting, and so whatever you mark their attendance, and then whatever activities you did at that meeting, they would get, it would mark off that they completed those activities.
Oh, awesome. It was great. Thank you.
It is really cool. You're welcome. And thank you so much for your words of encouragement. It's good to have somebody that's using the tool to encourage others to give it a try. People are saying, actually, we did some surveys around the toolkit, and people who are promoters of Girl Scouts, so in other words, these are people who say, I would recommend you volunteering for Girl Scouts. I volunteer for the Girl Scouts, and you should too. Those people, 88% of them use they use the volunteer toolkit. So we know that it makes a difference. It's a big deal. All right. Well, I do want to thank everybody for calling. I had a note here from Diana as well. She said, thank you. Looks great. Like you, I wish I had this as a leader. At this time, I'm just trying to keep in the know when I'm helping with the training. So, Diana, thanks for being a trainer and helping out on that end. And I hear you. I wish I did too. But what we can do now is just be a good sister Girl Scout and tell all our Daisy Brownie and junior leaders about this great resource. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to give you a couple minutes back in your day. It looks like we got through things a little more quickly than I thought we would. And again, this is recorded, so you're always welcome to listen to it. And we would love to get your feedback. So feel free to give us a call or send us an email with great testimonies. And if you're interested at all in helping us facilitate any of these, to tell our leaders about the toolkit, you want to kind of go on the road with us and be a speaker at one of our next meetings, feel free to let us know that. We're always looking for great help. All right. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.